So in 1981 I had an accident. I was camping and rolling down a hill in an inner tube, and I broke my neck, severed my spinal cord. Put an end to that part of my life. And then I moved on, and some friends asked me, used to hear me singing a lot, sort of like singing in the shower. They said, "You want to join a band?" So we started a band in 1986 called Blind Lemon Pie. First time I heard a really good solid blues album was 1980. I had a double live album called the Blues Summit Meeting, a vinyl album. It had like a brown alligator look on it, and there was a B.B. King song in there called Outside Help. There was some Jay McShane piano, Gatemouth Brown, Pine Top Perkins, and all the big blues artists of the day. The first time I heard that, I just fell in love with blues music. I had a relationship with music, and I wanted to perform that kind of music at some point in my life. So playing and performing in a blues band was a lot of fun, but I always wanted to write songs. I always had these songs inside my head. They weren't necessarily blues songs. Some of them were ballads. Some of them funky or gospel type songs. And I met up with Neil, a young fella at that time, and we started writing songs in the 90s, sometime in the late 90s. And it's a lot of there's a lot of gratification when you write, record, perform your own music. Sometime in early 2011, I used to go to a cafe in Orangetown and write tunes and perform them with Neil. And other times I would meet with Carl or David. So we brought all these guys together, David, Neil, Carl, myself, and eventually Jim. We formed this band, the Durham County Poets. Sometime early 2011, we released our first record, Where the River Flows, June of 2012. Life on the road as a disabled musician is interesting, but we so far have been fortunate enough to travel to Connecticut and Maryland, and New York State, and Vermont, and Ontario, and Quebec, Nova Scotia, and it's been a good ride.
Take a swig of that second. Give me a side profile swig. A sailor swig. Oh, what the heck was that?
So being handicapped sometimes is funny. Sometimes it has its advantages. Sometimes it's disadvantages. But I'll tell you one thing. One time I was rolling down the streets in Chateauguay of my hometown and came across a fella, and I could see him signaling from his yard. He said, "Let me give you a hand, basically. I'll push you because you're struck down the road," etc. So he gets behind me, and I've never seen this gentleman before. I'm thanking him, making small talk, but really I only have 60, 70 feet to go before I can turn off. And as I'm talking to him, I'm getting no response. I get to the corner where I'm supposed to turn off, and he keeps going, and I'm like, "Excuse me, sir. Hello? Hey, you can stop now." I'm getting a little worried. I'm thinking, oh no, a psychopath has got control of my chair. He's going to push me in the ditch. Well, anyways, I'm slamming on the brakes. I'm trying to stop and say, "What are you doing?" to the guy behind me. And, well, it turns out he was deaf.